going to a funeral.
Matthew Cuthbert?
Driving a buggy?
In his Sunday suit? On a Tuesday?
Why isn't he home buying his potatoes?
Yoo-hoo, Matthew, where are you off to?
He didn't say.
Matthew never does.
That's the truth.
Where is Matthew going, and why is he going there? Matthew Cuthbert never goes anywhere. He's wearing his green black collar, he's wearing his store-bought suit. Let's get this rake and faller.
Don't be silly.
Don't be sassy.
Don't be cute.
Where do you suppose he's going? He's hitched up a Sunday seat.
Should be home with sewing, a sewing turnip seed.
It must be fearful taxing, it must be something bad.
Why don't we go and ask them? Are you balmy? Are you fatty? Are you mad?
It was bad, he tried much faster. It was nothing, he tried slow. Ask his sister, I will be sure to know. You better go ask Marilla, you better go pay a call. Alberta, Jumbo, Yellow, and dance her down and down. You can talk about the weather, then ask her all at once.
Why don't we go together? We're no sleepers. We're no gossips. You dunce. Afternoon, ladies. I'm late.
Why, Marilla Cuthbert, we thought you'd been called to your maker when we saw your brother drive by in his Sunday suit.
And on a Tuesday, Matthew Cuthbert's so shy he's never moved farther than from the house to the barn.
Matthew went to Bright River to meet the train.
The train?
We're getting a little boy from the orphanage in Nova Scotia.
Well, you're never through with surprises till you're dead.
We've been thinking about it since the last harvest. You know how desperate hard it is to get hired help these days. And when Mrs. Alex Spencer told us she was getting a little girl from the orphanage, we decided to ask her to pick us out a boy while she was there. Old enough to be of some help with the heavy work, but young enough to be trained up proper.
But Marilla, you don't really know what you're getting. Now don't say I didn't warn you if this imported orphan puts strychnine in the well and burns your house to the ground. I heard of an orphan over in Nova Scotia did just that, and the whole family died in fearful agonies. As I remembered, it was a girl in that instance.
You can stop your prayers on our account, Rachel. We are not getting a girl.
Well, it's a mighty risky thing you're doing, that's why.
There's risks in people having children of their own when it comes to that.
Well, it's hardly a risk in the case of you and your brother.
Our meeting can continue now that we've found just where the Matthew's going and why he's going there. We have great purpose for the cause, winning numbers in the nation.
If you're looking for the 5:30 train, it's been and gone.
Oh,
A half hour ago.
but it's only 5:20.
If you're looking for the station master, he told me to tell you he's gone home.
He told you to tell me.
I suppose you're Mr. Matthew Cuthbert? Miss Spencer told me what you looked like. I was beginning to be afraid you wouldn't come for me. The station master said the train was early because there was a new engineer on, and he wasn't very experienced.
There must be some mistake.
Yes, the station master said the 5:30 train is usually a half hour late and regular as clockwork. If you hadn't come for me, I was going to walk down the tracks to that big wild cherry tree. See it?
Oh, yes.
And I was going to climb to that beautiful tree and stay all night. Wouldn't that be lovely? Am I talking too much? People always tell me I do. Miss Spencer said my tongue must be hung in the middle, it flaps so. If you tell me to stop, I can, although it's awfully difficult.
No, you can talk all you want. I don't mind.
Oh, I'm so glad. It's so wonderful that I'm going to live with you and belong to you.
I'll let Marilla do it.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, let me help you with your bag.
Oh, no, that's all right. It isn't heavy. It's an excruciatingly old bag. Thank goodness I'll never have to use it again. Mr. Cuthbert, which would you be if you had your wish? Divinely beautiful, or dazzlingly clever, or angelically good?
Well now, I don't rightly know.
Neither do I, but it'd be nice to think you had a choice.
Don't you like them?
Mr. Cuthbert, what color would you say this is?
Why, it's red, ain't it?
Yes, red hair and freckles have been my lifelong sorrow, but why are your roads red?
Well, I remember a fellow telling me once it was the iron in the soil getting rusty, but I don't think he could have meant it.
Do you suppose that it could be the wounds of tragic destiny, dripping from a blood-stained family tree? An evil spell that did compel founders of his island to meet their doom and perish horribly. Picture now the vicious strife that started raging way back in the olden days of yore. It's family with family and guilt engaging, drenching all your local souls with gore. Then, as far as I can see, I've just cleared up the mystery of why your roads are red perpetually.
The answer's found not in the ground, but in your imagination.
Giddy up, Pearl.
Gee, I'm glad I know what else. Gee, I'm glad I know what else. Gee, I'm glad I know what else but me.
You can come right in.
Matthew?
Yes, Marilla?
Why, Matthew Cuthbert.
Yes?
Who's that?
He?
Where's the boy?
Well, now, there wasn't any boy. There was only her.
There must have been a boy. We sent word to Mrs. Spencer to bring us a boy.
Well, she didn't. She brought her.
This is a pretty piece of business.
You don't want me? You don't want me because I'm not a boy? Oh, I might have known it.
I got water in there.
There, child. There's no need to cry so.
Oh, but there is me. This is the most tragic thing that has ever happened to me.
Well, we're not going to throw you out the doors tonight at any rate. Now, can you tell me your name?
Would you please call me Cordelia?
Call you Cordelia? Is that your name?
Well, not exactly. It's Anne Shirley. But whenever I'm in dire anguish, I imagine my name is Cordelia. At least, I have of late years.
Fiddlesticks. If your name is Anne, that's what you should be called. It's a good, plain, sensible name, and you have no need to be ashamed of it.
Well, if you call me Anne, would you please spell it with an E?
What difference does it make the way it's spelled?
Oh, it looks so much nicer.
Very well then, Anne with an E. Can you tell me how this mistake came to be made? We sent word to Mrs. Spencer to bring us a boy. Were there no boys at the orphanage?
Oh, yes, in abundance. But I specifically heard Miss Spencer say that you wanted a girl, and the matron said she thought I do.
Girl would be of no use to us. We need a boy to help Matthew out on the farm. Now take your hat off over there and help me with the table. We'll have supper.
Oh, I couldn't eat. I'm in the depths of despair. Can you eat when you're in the depths of despair?
I've never been there, so I can't say.
She's tired, Marilla. Best put her to bed.
Very well, child. Bring your bags and come with me.
Good night.
How can you say it's good night when you know it must be the worst night I've ever had? My life is a perfect graveyard of broken hopes.
What was that?
It's a sentence I read in a book once, and I say it to myself whenever I'm disappointed in anything.
You can sleep in here.
Oh!
Mercy, child. What's the matter?
A tree of your very own. Imagine.
It's a big tree and a bloom tree, but the cherries don't amount to much. Small and wormy.
Snow Queen.
What?
I'll call the tree Snow Queen because it reminds me of the blinding vision of the white way of delight.
You've got a tongue in your head, that's for certain. Now I want you to get undressed.
I have my best underwear on. The matron said you never know when you're going to get cut up in a train wreck.
I suppose you have a nightgown?
I have two.
They look kind of flimsy. You'd best wear both. And after you're done, I want you to say your prayers.
Oh, I never say any prayers.
Don't you know who God is?
The matron at the orphanage said that he's the one who made my hair red, and I've never cared for him since.
I'm afraid you're a very wicked little girl to talk this way. This is a Christian home, and while you're in it, you will say your prayers. After you're done, I want you to blow out the candle. On second thought, I'd best wait here till you're done. You're liable to set the house on fire.
You may take the candle. After I'm in bed, I'll imagine out a much nicer prayer to say.
Never mind your imaginings. Just thank him humbly for the blessings he has given.
But that's where I need my imagination. All right, I'm ready. What do I say?
Now I lay me down to sleep. No, you best talk to the Lord in your own words.
I'll try my best. Gracious Heavenly Father, infinite, eternal, and unchangeable.
Mercy on us. What was that?
That's the way the minister who came to the orphanage used to say it.
Never mind your chatterings. Just get on with your prayers and use your own words.
My dear God, oh, Miss Cuthbert, I know I'm not going to stay here at Green Gables, but I can make up a much nicer prayer if I imagine that I am.
Never mind your imaginings. Just thank him humbly for the blessings he has given.
That's where I need my imagination. Dear God, thank you for the Snow Queen and the White Way of Delight. I'm really extremely grateful for them. And that's all the blessings I can think of now to thank you for. And as for the things I want, it would take a great deal of time to mention them all, so I'll only mention the two most important. Please let me stay here at Green Gables, and please let me be good looking when I grow up. I remain yours respectfully, Anne Shirley. There! Did I do it all right? I could have made it much more flowery if I had the time to think it over.
Go to bed now.
Oh, I just thought. I should have said amen in place of yours respectfully, the way the ministers do. Do you think it'll make a difference?
I don't suppose so. Now go to sleep. This is what comes of sending someone instead of going ourselves. One of us will have to drive over to Mrs. Spencer's tomorrow, that's for certain. The child will have to go back to the orphanage.
I suppose so.
You suppose so? Don't you know it?
Well, now, she's a nice little thing, Marilla. It seems a pity to send her back when she's so set on staying.
Matthew Cuthbert, you don't mean to say we ought to keep her. What good would she be to us?
Well, we might be some good to her.
I've never heard such a thing. I believe that child has you bewitched. I can see plain as plain you want to keep her.
You should have heard her talk coming back from the station.
Oh, she can talk. I saw that straight away. And it's nothing in her favor either. I don't like children that have so much to say. We're not going to keep her, so you might as well spare your breath to cool your porridge.
Well, now, it's just as you say, of course, Marilla.
Where are you gadding off to? You haven't touched a bite of your supper.
I don't suppose I'm hungry either.
How could Mrs. Spencer have made such a mistake?
We clearly requested a boy.
A boy's what we wanted, I guess.
I guess that girl's not so bad. So badly we needed a boy. We clearly requested a boy's what they wanted.
I guess that a girl's not so bad.
Badly we needed a boy.
The farm could look after itself.
Selfish to think of myself, I am partial to
Boys.
boys.
A girl could help Marilla around the house. A girl could bring alfalfa to the cows.
Could milk and carry in the bills.
Boys made of snails and pup dogs' tails.
Could plow, a boy could hay and hoe. A girl can only sit and knit and sew.
Boys are rough, but girls are still as nice.
Bills are made of snails, so they twice. She hates me because I'm a
Girl is alright, I declare.
That she'll have to go back, go back. We clearly requested
like all the rested.
It can't be contested.
We clearly requested a boy.
Marilla Cuthbert! What a surprise! What brings you our way?
The fact is, Miss Spencer, there's been
Oh,
some...
is that little Anne out there in the buggy? Isn't she the dear wee thing?
The fact is, Miss Spencer, there's been some sort of queer mistake. We sent word through your brother Robert to bring us a boy.
You don't tell me. Isn't that funny? How did that happen, I wonder? I'm dreadfully sorry, Marilla. I thought I was following your instructions. Isn't it a funny predicament?
The thing to do now, Miss Spencer, is to put things right. I suppose the orphanage will take the child back?
Mrs. Peter Blewett, the very thing. I don't think we'll have to take the child back to Nova Scotia. You just come along with me right now. I always say it's an ill wind that doesn't blow somebody into town. Yoo-hoo, Mrs. Blewett.
Come in.
Lovely to see you. My, what a dear little home you have. May I introduce my friend, Miss Marilla Cuthbert.
How do? Mrs. Blewett?
And this dear little girl. You remember that little matter we spoke of last week?
She available?
Yes, and I know you and she could become firm friends.
Them kids. I keep them in the woodshed till feeding time. Here, you. Go stir the stew. All right, I'm coming out there and I'll whale daylight out of you.
The good Lord has seen fit to reward her labors. She's had twins 3 times in a row.
How many children in all?
7. No, 8.
She be a Roman Catholic?
No, Presbyterian.
How long has she been married?
5 years, going on 6.
funny kind of Presbyterian.
Dinner's coming. Sit out there and suck on your fingers. All right, you. What's your name?
I'm the Lady Cordillia de Montmorency, abducted by gypsies when I was 3.
Anne!
My name is Anne Shirley. Anne with an E.
That's better. Just the facts.
So where you were born and who your folks were.
I was born in a palace in Vienna, Danubian waltzes, my lullabies. My father was Johann with great mustaches, my mother Maria with emerald eyes.
Where did you say you was born?
My dear parents were rich and aristocratic, with 10 maids and butlers to bring them tea. We'd ride in a carriage with footmen on it, and all of them curtsied and bowed for me.
Enough of that, child.
If you're wondering how I got here, I was kidnapped by this buccaneer, who took me to France and taught me to dance in his gypsy hideout in Tangier.
And stop at this instant!
I never heard such nonsense in all my life.
I thought we could go with all there.
That's certainly not what they told me.
And Shirley? We don't want no gypsies around here.
Never possessed that child.
Just where do you think you are? And who do you think you are?
I'm the Lady Cordillia de Montmorency, abducted by gypsies when I was 3.
The facts, the facts, the facts. The plain, simple, homely, unembroidered facts.
Here are the facts. This is the report they gave me at the orphanage. Name, Anne Shirley.
Spelled with an E.
Parents, deceased. Father, Walter Shirley, teacher of agriculture and rabbit calculation at Bolingbroke Continuation School. Mother, Bertha Shirley, housewife.
I have to imagine what they look like. I was only 3 months old when they died.
Never mind, dear. Going to have a new home now. What you lose in the sauce, you gain on the gander. Now, where was I? Temporary guardian, Mrs. Russell Thomas.
And her drunken husband.
Oh dear, that's not a very nice thing to say.
It's not a very nice thing to watch either. But then they sent me up the river
Up the river?
to Mrs. Hammond and her 5 children.
Good, then you've had experience.
Yes, I have. Thank you. So I lived with the Thomases then, the Hammonds. I lived with the family in Halifax, but none of them wanted me, so I went to the home for the orphans, and those are the facts.
Are you sure?
Yes, it's all right down here.
The plain, simple, homely, unembroidered facts.
Well, turn around. There ain't much of you, but what there is wiring. I'll expect you to earn your keep. All right, Mrs. Spencer, I'll take her.
Well, I just came over to find out from Mrs. Spencer how the mistake had occurred. I feel I oughtn't to make a decision without first consulting my brother. Yes, I feel I ought to take the child home again and talk it over with him.
But I thought
If we decide not to keep her, I'll bring her back tomorrow evening. Will that suit you, Mrs. Blewett?
I suppose it'll have to.
Well, we'll just leave it at that then. We'll just put off till tomorrow instead of burning our bridges today.
Cecil.
Morning, Earl. Any mail?
Not today, Cecil. Water's pretty choppy. Mailboat didn't make it across the channel.
Isn't that a caution? The mail has been cut off again.
Where'd that buggy come from?
I don't know. Let's head into Cuthbert's.
Where Marilla come from? She's coming up from the south. The horse's eyes are rolling. He's foaming at the mouth. Whoever it is she's racing, I can't see him for dust. She's trying to beat the devil
Like a cyclone.
like a whirl.
Fit to bust.
Where Marilla come from and what she having there? Whatever it was had freckles and hangs no longer hair. She couldn't drive much faster. It must be something dire. Must be some disaster.
It's a robbery.
It's a fire
It's a,
She's in trouble.
in a whirl.
it's an accident.
It's a girl.
Take your hat off here. Matthew will be in for the chores anyway now. Have supper.
Oh, Miss Cuthbert, won't you tell me if you're going to keep me or not? I tried being patient all the way back in the buggy, but I can't bear not knowing any longer.
Take this cloth and clean off the table.
And that's when you'll tell me?
First, I want you to go out to the woodshed and grab some sticks for the stove.
And that's when you'll tell me?
Out to the woodshed, child. And not too big sticks, mind.
You're back.
So it would appear.
I watered Pearl. She's having her oats now. We're getting a little low on oats. I best drive into Carmody or White Sands tomorrow. Marilla, I still think we...
Matthew, mind the eggs. Oh, what Dr. Malcolm said. Have you no thought for your heart?
You tell old Malcolm, my heart's never been better.
Sit down this minute or you'll get the heat. Alright, stop it, the both of you. I have something to say. And Lord knows I don't have to put it in words. Well, Matthew and I, we decided to keep you. That is, if you promise to be a good little girl and help Matthew out on the farm. Why are you crying?
Oh, no, I don't know why I'm crying. I'm just so glad. Well, glad doesn't seem to be the right word at all. It's so much more than that.
Well, when you find the right words, we'll have supper.
Oh, I know who that is.
Come in, Rachel.
I saw you driving by in the buggy, so I thought I'd come over. Whatever happened to the boy?
Well, we changed his mind, or her mind. Well, what I mean is, we wanted a girl, so we got one.
And this is Mrs. Lynde come over to see you. Isn't that nice of her?
I could tell by the pigtails flying by in the buggy you hadn't got what you expected. Well, well, well. They didn't pick you up for your looks, that's sure and certain. Come over here. Let me have a look at you. Did you ever see such freckles and hair as red as carrots?
How dare you call me ugly? How dare you call me freckled and red-headed?
Anne!
How would you like to have such things said about you? How would you like to be told that you're fat and dilapidated and probably have a spark of imagination in you? Well, I don't care if I hurt your feelings by saying so. I hope I do hurt them. You've hurt mine worse than they've ever been hurt before, and I'll never forgive you for it. Never, never, never.
Did you ever see such a temper?
Anne, you apologize to Mrs. Lynde at once and ask her to forgive you.
Oh, I couldn't. I'm sorry I vexed you, Miss Cuthbert, but I'm glad I said what I just said. It gave me great satisfaction.
Well,
You go up to your room this minute and wait there until you're willing to come down and apologize.
you've taken on quite a responsibility there, Marilla. I don't envy anyone who has to bring that up.
You shouldn't have put it on her lips, Rachel.
You don't mean to tell me you're upholding that terrible display of temper.
I'm not excusing it, but we must make allowances. She's never been taught what's right.
Well, I can see I'll have to be careful what I say around here in the future, since the fine feelings of orphans brought from goodness knows where have to be given first consideration.
You haven't had your tea, Rachel. We'll just sit here and wait until she's willing to come down and apologize.
If you take my advice, me who's brought up 10 children and worried too, you won't wait for anything. You'll go right outside and cut yourself a good-sized birch switch.
Where are you off to?
Oh, well, I just thought I'd...
Go upstairs?
Yes.
Matthew, you haven't been upstairs in this house since you helped me paper the spare room 4 years ago.
I know. I just thought
Mind what the doctor says about climbing stairs.
Uh-huh.
Matthew, don't go interfering. I suppose an old maid doesn't know much about disciplining children, but I suppose she knows more than an old bachelor. Cup of tea, Matthew?
Oh, no thank you. I think I'll go fill the cistern.
Well, while you're here, I might as well show you the patchwork pieces I've been saving for the corneo headhunters.
Anne! Lady Cordillia de Montmorency. Don't you think you better get this thing off your chest and get it over with?
Oh, I couldn't. You can lock me up in a dark, damp dungeon inhabited by snakes and toads.
Well, now, we're not in the habit of doing that. Now, come on down. Marilla's super determined, you know. You're gonna have to say you're sorry sooner or later.
Oh, I couldn't. She hadn't any right to call me ugly and red-headed.
But I heard you say so much yourself. Only yesterday.
There's such a difference between saying something yourself and hearing someone else say it.
Anne, you listen to me. Never mind how folks talk, let them all strut and squawk. When they criticize, just pass them by. If they do harp at you, don't get upset. Fuss, fume, and fret, or get indigestion. Critics can't bother me, 'cause I tell them I agree. When they're finding fault, I don't deny. You can do it, just you try it, you won't rue it. Be like I keep happy eating humble pie. Humble pie, we can eat it, you and I. Though the world around us may be proud. Never mind, you will find they have no fight.
If you're polite,
That's right.
and that's
With a smile all the while, try to walk that second mile. Turn the other cheek against the crowd. You can do it, just you try it. Why not try my steady diet? We'll be happy eating humble pie. Now, can you do this step? Very good. Now, how about this one? Oh.
no.
Matthew, what's going on out there?
Oh, quick, up the ladder. You can do it, just you try it. Why not try my steady diet? We'll be happy eating humble pie.
What have you been doing up here?
I've been wrestling with my soul. And I've decided I'm ready to tell Mrs. Lynde I'm sorry I lost my temper.
Very well, come with me. Matthew?
Yes, Marilla?
Matthew, come in here. I'd like you to see what a little bit of good discipline can do.
Mrs. Lynde, oh Mrs. Lynde, you have been wronged and I have sinned. My very soul is so chagrined. I acted so undisciplined. I should have grieved. I should have been more thicker-skinned. Forgive me, please. My hopes are pinned on Mrs. Lynde.
Well, now, I think that's very nicely done.
My punishment was necessary. Upstairs just now in solitary. I have a temper which is scary. I know I have and I'll be wary.
is most unfortunate. She doesn't have a father or a mother, so you mustn't flaunt your own too much. It isn't polite to talk to other children about things themselves do not possess. Good morning, Diana. Mrs. Barry. This is Anne.
How are you, Anne?
I'm as well as can be expected, thank you, ma'am.
Hello, Anne.
Hello, you have a perfectly lovely name. Diana is my favorite heathen goddess.
Diana is a very nice little girl, and her mother is very particular about who she plays with. Now, you don't want to keep her late for school. Here's your note from Mr. Phillips. If you don't mind, Miss Barry, I'll just slip over to your house and take a look at that patchwork piece you were telling me about.
Very well, Marilla. Goodbye, Diana.
Goodbye. Oh, do you suppose I could take Anne with me to the Sunday school picnic this Saturday?
Oh, a picnic?
Well, I think that would be for Mrs. Cuthbert's idea.
Oh, man, Marilla, may I?
There's going to be all kinds of races with prizes, and we're going to make ice cream.
They're going to make ice cream. What's that?
Oh, Anne, you're teasing.
Well, Marilla, I think if the child hasn't had a taste of it, this might be a good opportunity.
Well, I suppose if parents are going along as well.
Everyone's going.
Well, I don't suppose I see any harm in it. Land's sakes, child, hurry along or you'll be late for school.
We can go swimming at the picnic too, Anne. Tilly Bolt, who nearly got drowned last year.
It must have been such a romantic experience to have been nearly drowned.
Oh my God, we done this is funny, that's fun. Think the princess lost the sleigh, think the princess can't wait to school again, school again, school again.
Next, it's old Matt Phillips.
Good morning, Mr. Phillips. hearts forever, for we know that you are grand. 2, 3, 4. Heavenly above thee, we raise our loyal sons and daughters. Banners of sincere endeavor over Prince Edward Island.
All right, class, settle down. Settle down and concentrate on the work I gave you yesterday.
Don't bother Mr. Phillips now, Anne. He's busy.
But he doesn't even know I'm here, Diana.
He doesn't know any of us is here. He spends all his time with that Percy Andrews. He's getting her ready to try for a scholarship. Well, at least that's what he says he's doing.
What are the rest of us supposed to do?
Oh, finish up the work we didn't do yesterday.
But I wasn't here yesterday.
I know, you lucky thing. Why don't you draw something funny on your slate?
Gilbert Blythe, you dirty little...
All right, class, settle down and concentrate.
That boy teases Josie Pye something terrible, and she's dead gone on him. He's awfully handsome, isn't he? His name is Gilbert Blythe.
I think he's awfully bold. When is Mr. Phillips going to start teaching the rest of us?
As soon as he straightens out Percy Andrews.
Psst, hey, what are these? Carrots?
You mean hateful boy! How dare
Who is this strange girl?
My name is Aunt Shirley, sir. I'm new. I have a note.
And what does all this mean?
It was my fault, sir. I teased her.
Sit down, Blythe. I'm sorry to see you people displaying such a vindictive spirit. What did you say your name was?
Anne Shirley, sir. Anne with an E.
Class, repeat after me. Anne Shirley has a very bad temper.
Anne Shirley has a very bad temper.
Anne
Oh,
Shirley,
please, sir. She forgot the E.
you must learn to control your tongue as well as your temper. Go sit with Gilbert Blythe. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, but I didn't suppose you really meant it.
I assure you that I did. Obey me at once. Class, repeat after me. Anne Shirley has a very bad temper.
Anne Shirley has a very bad temper.
Anne Shirley must learn to control her temper.
Anne Shirley must learn to control her temper.
Control her temper.
Moody Spurgeon McPherson, come here! Here! What have you got in your mouth? Have you been chewing pine gum again?
No, sir, I'm just soaking a prune for recess.
Well, get rid of it! All right, recess. Except for Gilbert Blythe and the new girl. Gilbert, go clean off the board. The rest of you, dismiss in an orderly fashion.
Wondering
if she wants him, she will have to deal with me.
Did you hear? Tell me everything, my dear. You can trust me and you know my lips are sealed. Did you hear?
Tell us everything, my dear, and I promise it will never be revealed.
They should put the girl away. That's exactly what I say.
You mean she went and was the sculling too?
I was there, and I swear there was blood just everywhere.
She's a vixen, she's a hussy.
We don't want her kind in Aveonlea, and I know she leaves tonight. If they scalp her, then I'll tell her, serves you right.
Hello, Josie, Catherine, and Rachel. Ladies.
Now, Marilla, heaven knows I'm no gossip, but I'm sure you want to be the first to know. Did you hear?
I will never, ever fear. You always have a little bit of news.
Never did you ever, I suppose she thinks she's clever, giving my for life with such an awful bruise.
In the schoolroom, split his head.
I knew Gilbert's good as dead.
He was took by motor car to Charlottetown.
She's a piece of Satan's finest handiwork. She's a
Vixen, she's a hussy.
She's a terror.
She's a target. We don't want her kind in Aveonlea.
terrible temper.
Cheer up, man. You must have mind Gilbert making fun of your hair. He's called me a crow a dozen times.
But there's such a difference between a crow and a carrot, Diana. Gilbert Blythe has hurt my feelings excruciatingly. Isn't it a scrumptious word? It took me weeks to learn how to say it right.
Well, how was your first day at school?
Oh, Matthew, Diana invited me to a Sunday school picnic. I've never been to a picnic.
You know, neither have I. Marilla doesn't believe the good Lord intended us to eat outdoors.
You know, I think a picnic is the very nicest way to enter the church.
There'll be no picnic for you, young lady. Come along home, Diana.
But Mother,
Home at once. There'll be no picnic or anything else until you stop disgracing our name with your vicious temper.
Now, Marilla, it can't be as bad as that.
This child is uncontrollable. She's given the Blythe boy a concussion, and right at this moment, he's in the Charlottetown hospital with 4 doctors picking the slate out of his head.
That's not true. That's just not true.
Don't contradict me, young lady. I heard it from Rachel Lynde, who heard it from the girl who works at the store, and she was there, saw the whole thing. Why, the boy's brain pan was split wide open for all to see.
And, I'm sorry your slate got broke, so I bought you a new one.
Gilbert Blythe, what are you doing up and around?
Well, excuse me, Miss Cuthbert, but I just came to make amends with Anne for what I did.
For what you did, I thought it was her who had done it to you.
Whatever it was.
Well, it was nothing really. I teased her at school and she got the blame, but really it was all my fault.
Oh? How's your brain pan?
My what, sir?
Oh, you know, the part of you that split wide open with 4 doctors picking at you.
I think somebody's giving me a story, Mr. Cuthbert.
Mm-hmm.
Should have known better than to listen to those gossips that hang around the Blair store.
And now we better make sure Mrs. Berry gets the story right, too. Now, I don't see any reason why Anne shouldn't get to go to the Sunday school picnic.
Oh, could I?
Would it be alright if she went with me? I promised to look after her and bring her home on time.
Well, I think that'd be just...
Well, I'd want someone to be responsible for her.
No. If I go at all, I shall accompany Miss Diana Barry. I and she can look after each other.
And
the iron has entered my soul. starting to shiver for
Ice cream, the mixing is most enjoyable of ice cream, and no one is unemployable in our scheme. You've got to keep on and double till it's set. You've met chill mix, cover it up tight, good friend.
Can't you do it right?
Will you help?
This is no time to fight.
Keep on with the turning and soon you'll be turning out
Ice cream is under the smoke for tastiness, but ice cream can never be made with hastiness. So our dream is not to be just a little overdue. How true.
Everybody get ready for the three-legged race. Mr. Phillips.
Ready, set, go!
The egg and spoon race is about to start. On your marks, get set, go.
Oh, dang, that was a thrill. I never thought I'd win.
Yes, and Gilbert helped him back so you'd be the first one in.
Humiliating.
I think he wants to be your beau.
No, I shall hate Gilbert Blythe for the rest of my life. That's good, because he's mine.
He is not.
He is too.
It's ready.
Rose to the core, about time my arms are getting sore. Here's the moment we've been waiting for.
Here you are, Miss Shirley, your first taste of ice cream.
Gilbert Blythe! Ice cream. It's marvelous and mysterious. Ice cream.
Ice cream is wonderful on a summer's afternoon. Into ice cream.
I could sleep late and stay up to midnight catching 2 worms for bait. Now I'll be home and curried and worried again. Who wants to put their shoes on? Not me, my friend.
I grew up inch bigger.
I lost some wisdom.
An umbrella and fell off our roof. I had a taste of life, couldn't shut it down. They had electric lights there that never burned out. And I saw the lights on Great Street and King Street for close. And I had a cherry phosphate that went up my nose. We found a gorgeous seashell. We found some licorice roots.
I saw the hired girl swinging her birthday suit.
Where did the summer go to? We had such fun. Now we go back to Caesar and Attila the Hun. I'm sure that all this Latin will flatten my head. Sic transit gloria mundi. Summertime, summertime, summertime. Who wants to put their shoes on? Not me, my friend.
Last year I concentrated on geography, but it didn't get me anywhere. This year I'm concentrating on boys. I intend to have half a dozen of them all crazy about me.
Wouldn't you just as soon have one in his right mind?
You already have that, Anne. I hear that Gilbert Blythe has a terrible crush on you. Who said? I heard Gilbert tell Charlie Sloan just the other day that when Anne Shirley sings in church, her Adam's apple bobs in and out like chicken pecking dirt.
Excuse me, girls. I'd like to talk to Anne alone. Look, Anne, can't we start off this year as friends? I know I made fun of your hair that once, but I only meant it for a joke.
No, Gilbert Blythe, never.
Fine, I don't care either. Carrots. Come on, Josie.
Oh, Diana, let's promise each other one thing, that when we grow up, neither of us will get married, but live together forever as nice old maids.
Oh, I don't know if I want to be an old maid forever, Anne. I always thought the nicest thing would be to marry a wicked young man and gradually reform him.
I know. When you grow up, you're going to get married and leave me. Oh, I hate your husband.
Oh, Anne, that's hundreds of years away. Besides, you know, I'll always be your best and closest friend.
Well, Diana, I shall hold you to that till death do us part.
My, what a bright sunny morning. I think we're going to have our very first class right here outside. Outside? Why not? Just because a pupil is slumped over a desk writing something in a copybook doesn't mean he's learning anything. Yes, we're going to have our very first class right here outside.
Diana, Miss Stacy's a kindred spirit.
Open the window, sweep out the cobwebs, open your minds to what is going on around. Look at the sunlight, what is it made of? How can it make the flowers jump right out of the ground? Open your ears, is that old nose? How can it be those? Take off the blinkers, let in the daylight. Why does the clinking ivy cling? Tear down the fences, use all the senses, learn everything.
Now, are there any questions?
Miss Stacy, what is the sunlight made out of?
Why, it's made of energy, and it's coming at you at the rate of 186,000 miles a second.
Gee whirlikers, I never knew that.
Open your hands, reach for the skies.
How does a lobster
Yes?
burn the eyes?
Look all around you, life will astound you. Why don't you open up and sing? Open your heart to, now we will start to learn everything.
Now, our first class today will be...
Latin.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Algebra?
Later.
Deportment.
Now, that comes with a healthy mind and a healthy body.
Then what, Miss Stacy?
Nature study.
Open the window,
Open the window,
sweep out the cobwebs,
sweep out the cobwebs.
open your minds to what is going on all around. Look at the sunlight,
Look at the sunlight.
what is it made of?
What is it made of?
How can it
Gables.
Oh, Matthew.
Well, how was your first day back at school?
The very first thing I learned is that we have a new teacher, and she's absolutely perfect.
Well, that is good news.
And when she pronounces my name, I feel instinctively that she's spelling it with an E. Matthew, her sleeve puffs are bigger than anyone else's in Aveonlea. Honestly, Marilla, she has come through the door sideways.
Hope you managed to notice what she was teaching.
We went for a walk in the Sloan's Woods. It's called a field trip. And after that, we had to deliver out loud an oral composition about what I saw on our field trip, and I gave the best one.
Well, now, what did I
Very
tell
vain
you?
of you to say so, Anne. You best let the teacher say it.
Oh, but she did say it.
Who came second?
Oh, Gil, one of the boys. I forget his name. But the best thing is going to be every other Friday. That's when we'll have recitations. And after Christmas, we're going to put on a concert.
Well,
Fiddlesticks, more foolishness.
Oh no, Miss Stacy says that this shall be a feast of the reason and a flow of the soul.
Oh, does she? I don't believe in concerts. They just spoil young children for everyday life. Just a chance for boys and girls to stay up late when they'd be better off in bed.
is Gilbert Blythe going to be with you in the concert? I saw him on Sunday at church. He was standing there looking tall and manly, just like his father. You know, John Blythe and Marilla used to be good friends. In fact, some said John was Marilla's beau.
Oh, Matthew, what happened?
Well, they had a quarrel, and Marilla wouldn't forgive him when he asked her to. I guess she meant to, but you know how Marilla is.
Now don't go away, Anne. I'll need you upstairs in a moment. Not a word out of you, mind.
I can almost imagine Marilla's being mysterious.
She has a surprise for you.
Oh, Matthew, what is it?
Well, I'm not supposed to say.
A new dress? Marilla has made me a new dress? Oh, I just know it. I can't wait to see it. Oh, Matthew, it is a new dress, is it?
Anne, upstairs.
Now remember, I never told you.
I had some material left over, so I made you a sash. Well, how do you like it?
I imagine that I like it.
I don't want you to imagine it. What's wrong with it? It's new, isn't it?
Yes.
Then why don't you like it? It's sensible and it's serviceable. I should think you'd be grateful.
Oh, but I am grateful, of course. I'd be ever so much grateful if you made it with puff sleeves.
Fiddlesticks.
But everybody else at school has them.
Those ridiculous-looking things.
Now, Marilla, look here.
Look where?
Well, why don't we...
Why don't we what?
Well, why shouldn't she...
Exactly, why shouldn't she? I prefer these plain, sensible things.
But wouldn't you rather look ridiculous when everybody else does than plain and sensible all by yourself?
It's wicked of you to think of your looks so much.
Now, Marilla, why don't we, or why shouldn't she... You can't just take a girl and...
Matthew Cuthbert, I don't know what you're trying to say, but whatever it is, keep it to yourself. This is women's affairs, now you stay out of it. I'm afraid you're a very vain little girl.
How can I be vain when I know I'm homely?
She doesn't like it. Good green Wincy, and she doesn't like it.
Just like a chicken pecking dirt. The world has laughed long enough. Now is the time to take my fate into my own hands. It is a far, far better thing I do, standing on the threshold of eternity at last, as reckless of the future as I have been of the past.
The words, the words, the words. Why won't they come when I want them? I've kept my peace since I was young, for a boy is taught to hold his tongue. But now when I'm busting to say my say, I just can't seem to find a way. I can't find the words, can't get out the phrases. Just when she needs love, I can sing her praises. Where do the words go when I am before her? Oh, if I could show what I feel in my heart, I'd adore her, I'd implore her, I'd die for her, but I can't find the words.
Yoo-hoo, and you may use some of this cream for Diana's berries. Where is that child? Out in her room practicing for that tomfool concert, I suppose. She has no business daydreaming when we're expecting company in less than 5 minutes. And not in here. Miss Barry and Diana will be here in less than 5 minutes, and her bed's not made. Mercy on us, what are you doing in here? Have you been asleep?
No.
You're not sick.
No, but please, Marilla, just go away and don't look at me.
What nonsense. Both of us are expecting company for tea in less than 5 minutes.
Please just go away and don't look at me.
Did anyone ever hear the like? Anne Shirley, get your hair. It's green.
I thought nothing could be worse than red hair, so I dyed it.
But it's positively green.
Now I know it's 10 times worse to have green hair.
Whatever made you do such a wicked thing?
He told me it would make my hair a beautiful raven black. He positively assured me it would.
He told you? Who told you? What are you talking about?
You remember the peddler who came here last month? I bought it from him.
That foreigner? I sent him away. I only deal with the Watkins man.
I know. But after I bought it, I put it away because I didn't have the nerve to try it until you...
Until I made you a dress.
Oh, Marilla, it wasn't that. Not just that. It was Josie Pye. Oh, just everything.
There. This is a fast eye if I ever saw one, and it's a good job you didn't use it on the top of your head first.
Oh, Marilla, my career is closed.
Now, Anne. There's no use crying over spill. Whatever it was. That hair will have to come off. I'll get the scissors.
But Marilla...
No time to lose. Here comes the ladies up the drive now. Afternoon, Rachel, Velda, Minnie.
Oh, are we having the meeting in the kitchen?
Law, no. The Barry's little girl Diana is coming home to have tea with our Anne.
How sweet, just like the big folks.
They seem lovely, big folks. My Josie's grown so fast, just like pigweed in the night.
I saw the pair of them, Anne and Diana, coming home from school the other day. Now, I always thought that Barry girl was a beauty, and so she is. But I want to tell you, Marilla, I was wrong about your Anne, and I'll admit it in front of the ladies of the executive. It's not often that I'll admit I was wrong, but I was, and I'm glad of it. But it's little short of wonderful, the improvement in your Anne. Why, here she is. How are you, Anne?
I'm well in body, although considerably rumpled in spirits. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, isn't she polite? Isn't that a new dress we're wearing? What color is it?
It's bottle green.
I don't think it suits the child.
Silence yourself. Why don't we have the meeting outside? It's such a nice day. Miss Barry and Diana will be along any minute. That'll make a full turnout. I'll see to the ladies' end. You look after Diana. You may open that little yellow crock of cherry preserves if you wish. It's time it was used up, and I think it's beginning to work. You may also have the raspberry cordial. You look fine considering, and the sash does a good job of hiding your hair. The cordial's on the second shelf. Hello, Miss Barry, Diana. It's such a nice day. We thought we'd have the meeting outside. Very well, Marilla. Come on, Diana.
On the second shelf. Oh, good afternoon, Miss Barry, Diana.
Thank you, Anne. Diana, what do you say?
And your hair, you've put it up. It looks just like the pompadour on the mannequin in Hallman's window in Charlottetown. Oh, Mother, when can I put my hair up like that?
Not for another 2 years, Diana. You know that.
Well, can I get a sash for my hair like Anne has?
We'll see, dear.
Miss Barry, we're about to begin the meeting now.
Yeah, behave yourself, Diana. Goodbye, dear.
We will now have the minutes of the reading read by Miss Minnie Pye.
Oh, Anne, you are the luckiest thing. I envy you, I really do. I'm absolutely green. Won't you please sit down, Diana? Won't you please have some raspberry cordial? This is going to be fun. We can pretend we're grown up and say things to each other we really don't mean. Do you suppose Rachel, Lynde, and Marilla did this when they were little girls?
I don't suppose I can imagine Mrs. Lynde or Marilla as little girls. Even my imagination has its limits.
May I have some more cordial?
There you are. I'll get the cake. I baked it myself, so I hope it tastes all right. Last time was when the minister came over, and instead of using vanilla, I used Sloan's Liniment by mistake. Have some more cordial, won't you, Diana?
Thank you.
I made taffy, these napkins have too much starch in them. I made taffy too, but Marilla made me throw it out. I don't think you would have noticed except for the rather interesting design, but one of the cats from the barn walked all over it.
Kindred Spirits, just you and me, ever to be.
Diana, I'm so glad you feel that way, Diana.
This is awfully nice cordial, Anne. It's ever so much nicer than my Anne's cordials. And she brags of her Josephine ever so much. It doesn't taste a bit like hers.
Diana, it's all right. I'll get a cloth. Diana.
Kindred Spirits, just you and me, ever to be. Like a fly sticks to glue. We'll stick together, just me and you. I'll swear at you. You swear at me. We'll swear at we. Now we're kindred spirits. Oh, hello, Mother.
What's happening, my child? I think she's squiffy. I think she's been poisoned.
I think I'm going to be sick.
And where did you get this bottle?
On the second shelf where you told me.
How much did she drink?
3, maybe 4 tumblers full. Diana! Diana!
This is all my fault. I forgot to bring the cordial up from the root cellar. The child's been drinking currant wine.
Wine? Why, Marilla Cuthbert? You always said your currant wine wouldn't have the least effect on anybody.
You even gave it to the minister's wife. Yes, but she didn't have 4 tumblers full at a time. Now that's the last of it, you'll be glad to know, and I'd best get rid of it here and now.
boys. Let's see who'll be the first to climb a tree and bring back an empty bird's nest. Wait! Be careful of the birds and treat the eggs gently. Now, off you go.
I'll show her.
Cecil.
Morning, Lucia.
Why, morning, Cecil. Earl, what can I do for you?
Have you got a as often said in your catalog?
It pulls at your mouth and fits under your tail. It gives you a real smart job.
I'll fetch it. Good day. Good day. Good morning, Mrs. Berry. Minnie, what can I do for you? That's a cinch. Here. Try this on your player piano. Why, Mr. Cuthbert, what can I do for you?
Well, is Mr. Blair anywheres about?
Mr. Blair? Why, no. He's gone for the day.
The day? Oh dear.
Step over here. I'm at your service. What can I do for you?
Well,
Please don't be nervous. I've nothing else to do.
I want some puff.
Puff? Puff?
How's that again, Matthew?
I want puff.
Pipe tobacco.
A tin of old chum.
No, I mean
Paraffin oil? Coming right up. One drum.
Have you got puff?
Paris perfume.
Right now we're all out of stock.
No, I mean
Pickle preserves. One drop. Holy name in life is not to please you. General store is just the place to meet the needs of the human race.
what I really came for, I really can't say. It's more like whoa.
That's on special today. Cecil, come here and help.
Oh, now that's what I really wanted.
Pink pills,
Peppercorns?
peaches, pears, plums,
What?
Pitchforks at this time of year?
Aim in life is not to please you. The general store is just a place to meet the needs of the human race.
Six and carry two. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Well, Rachel. Oh, excuse me, Lucia.
Now, let's see. What have we got here? Paraffin oil, pipe tobacco, pickled preserves.
Peppercorns?
Potatoes?
The very thing. Puffed sleeves.
Puffed sleeves?
Puffed sleeves.
Hey!
Charge it.
thing I ever saw.
You don't think it makes me look lighter, as Marilla said?
Oh no, it makes you look taller. I can hardly wait to see the look on Gilbert Blythe's face.
Neither can I.
Not to mention Miss Josie Pye.
Diana, tonight I have a soul that flies above Josie and everything else.
Diana, can you help me with my lines, please?
Of course, Gilbert, but...
Oh, my mother!
Josie, what's the matter?
I told my mother I'd be the spirit of Canada, with wings and everything. but she wouldn't lend me her beaded slippers.
But Josie, your mother's slippers wouldn't have fitted you anyways.
Who ever heard of a fairy in boots with copper toes? Oh, leave me alone.
Oh, isn't it grand that they got
At the concert?
Yes, I've heard these young people have been practicing out for months.
Oh yes, my Diana doesn't mind practicing for a concert. Just try to get her to practice her piano or do her studies, and it's a different story.
I'm sure we're going to be proud of our Diana tonight. Why, Matthew and Marilla, I'm sure we're going to be proud of our Anne tonight. Why, Matthew Cuthbert, you're as white as a ghost. What could Dr. Malcolm say?
I'm not surprised, going all the way into Carmody for puff sleeves and straining his valves, bringing home a tin of paraffin oil we don't need, 100 pounds of potatoes I won't use in a month of Sundays, and enough pitchforks for a threshing gang.
I know, wasn't that a caution?
Well, I figured it was worth it.
Why, Mr. Phillips and Prissy. I should say Mrs. Phillips. I'm sure we're going to be proud of our... Oh, isn't it grand that they got at the concert?
Ladies and gentlemen?
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the Board of Trustees, honored guests, parents, and friends, tonight we would like to present a pageant of Canadian history written and devised by the pupils of Avonlea School.
Did you hear that?
Isn't that clever? They write up all their own history. But first, to open our program, we present a famous tableau. Isn't that lovely?
What is it? That's the Last Supper.
It's the meeting of the Fathers of the Confederation. And now, our pageant. I am the spirit of Canada, but 40 years young.
What? I am the spirit of Canada, but 40 years young.
I am the spirit of Canada, but 40 years young. Yet my story goes back to the Ice Age, from whence our first people sprung.
Oh, Anne!
During the Ice Age, Canada slept. For years she lay, her virgin soil undisturbed, except by the odd Eskimo with his igloo of ice and snow. Later, the proud Red Indian came. By stripping the bark of some silver birch, they made their root forest home. Meanwhile, far across the Atlantic Ocean, men from many nations were searching. Gold was what they sought. What did they find? Not gold, but a golden land.
We sailed to North America to
We sailed to North America to
If there's a land that's fit for you and me.
There's a land that's fit for you and me. In a dry land, quite near. Here is an island, right here.
Never before have we seen such a land. Was it ever grand? They called it Prince Edward Island, the heart of the world. Set in the crossroads of the sea. All the nations have their banners unfurled. Now that we know that this is the place to be. Prince Edward Island, the heart of the world. Set in the crossroads of the sea. All of the nations have their banners unfurled. Now that we know that this is the place to be.
Prince Edward Island, so each of them left their mark. So each of them left their mark. On this island of ours, this earth, this realm, this precious jewel, set in a silver gulf.
Prince and Riley in the heart of the world, set in the restaurants of the sea.
Here, look.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Avery Scholarship is from Aveonlea School, Miss Anne Shirley. And the runner-up is also from Aveonlea School, Mr. Gilbert Blythe.
We're off with Anne Shirley and Gilbert Blythe.
We are indeed doubly proud of our local boy and girl.
Congratulations, Anne.
Gilbert, I hope.
Hooray for Aunt Shirley, the cleverest girl on the island.
Hooray for Aunt Shirley!
Fellow citizens, it makes me very humble when I realize the small contribution I have made toward this great home. I feel that.
You? What about me? I see the bus. If it hadn't been for me, she wouldn't be here tonight. When I found her, she was waiting at the station door. Didn't have a tap describing just what she was headed for. She'd have gone back COD if it hadn't been for me.
If it hadn't been for you, if it hadn't been for me, if it hadn't been for all of us, I wonder where she'd be. Probably wouldn't have had all this fuss if it hadn't been for us.
Well, I took a fancy to her from the very start. She was so polite and bashful, that she won my very heart. And I'm glad that all those books haven't spoiled the beautiful looks.
If it hadn't been for you, if it hadn't been for me, if it hadn't been for all of us, I wonder where she'd be. Probably wouldn't have had all this fuss if it hadn't been for us.
It was destiny that chose me to cultivate this pearl by devoting my attention to the needs of every girl. For in the field of knowledge, when you plant a tiny seed, the results can be tremendous, tremendous, yes indeed.
If it hadn't been for you, if it hadn't been for me, if it hadn't been for all of us, I wonder where she'd be. Probably wouldn't have had all this fuss if it hadn't been for us. If it hadn't been for you, if it hadn't been for me, if it hadn't been for all.
If it hadn't been for Anne, she did it herself with imagination and determination. And though we may have all helped when we could, it was Anne who brought honor to her school this night. So, if it hadn't been for you, if it hadn't been for me, I've a hunch she would have made it as the pride of Aveonlea.
She's the girl at the head of the crowd, and I'm feeling mighty, mighty proud.
Feeling mighty, mighty, oh so high and mighty, feeling mighty.
I knew we needed an extra hand. The doctor said you couldn't do it all, and now...
Oh, please, Marilla, not now.
All that heavy lifting you've been doing and trotting into town for puff sleeves. Now don't you budge till the doctor gets here. I'll go try and find the sal volatile in case you get dizzy again. I know I left it somewhere.
Good night, Anne.
Good night. Oh, Matthew, I couldn't find you or Marilla anywhere. So we walked home and we sang all the way, and the blossoms looked so white at night. And is anything wrong, Matthew?
I'm just bursting proud of my little girl, that's all.
And do you know what I kept on thinking all the way home, Matthew? About the first time I saw Green Gables. I was in the buggy with you, and I talked all the way from the station, remember? Oh, Matthew, I'm so glad you let me stay, even though I wasn't a boy.
Why, we'd rather have you than a dozen boys. I guess it wasn't a boy who won the Avery Scholarship.
No, but of course Gilbert was runner-up, and that's about the same thing. It's only without the scholarship, his father can't afford to send him to Queen's.
Gilbert will make his mark. Never fear.
Do you know what I think is the best thing about winning the scholarship? Is that it announces to the whole world that you've got some sense. I was never really sure before, but I think my chances of becoming sensible are greater than ever. Marilla always said I was too romantic by far.
Don't lose all your romance, Anne. A little romance is a good thing. Keep just a little of it. And of Green Gables never change. We like you just this way. And of Green Gables sweet and strange, stay as you are today. Though blossoms fade and friends must part, old grow the songs we've sung. And of Green Gables in my heart, you are forever young.
Matthew?
Still, Marilla, never mind the sal volatile.
Sal volatile?
That's right, dear. Run along now. Hurry.
Marilla! Marilla!
I'll fix us a good strong cup of tea.
Well, he lived 60 years, but he was never happier than he was during this last one. Oh, Marilla, what will you do without him?
Remember him as best as we can. I'll take a slip of that little white rosebush Mother brought over from Scotland and plan to find a grave before we leave.
Leave? For where?
Anne's going to Queen's. That'll be 4 years. There's nothing left for me to stay for here.
But you wouldn't think of leaving Green Gables.
I've thought about it, and things would only get behind worse and worse until nobody would be willing to buy the place. It won't bring much, but it'll bring enough for me to live on.
Let's sell Green Gables?
The kettle's boiling.
Now you listen to me, Marilla Cuthbert. We've been friends since we was girls together. You and Matthew, and well, you are Green Gables without you here around too.
Oh, Matthew. Matthew, you mustn't think I didn't love her as much as you did. It wasn't easy for me to say things, but I love the both of you just as dear as... I can't find the words, can't get out the phrases. When he needed love, did I sing his
Marilla, was it something I said?
I'll have a cup of tea too, thank you.
You near scared me out of my growth. Where did you skip off to?
Over to Barry's.
I thought Diana was over at her Aunt Josephine's for the day.
I went to see your father. He's offered to rent the land here at Green Gables, and we can stay here just the same.
We? Who's we?
You and I. I'm not going to Queens.
I can't let you. You mustn't give up. What about the scholarship?
I met Miss Stacy up the road, and I talked to her about giving the scholarship to someone else. Only that's not allowed.
But 4 years, Anne?
Nothing would be worse than giving up Green Gables.
I can't let you sacrifice yourself like this.
I've quite made up my mind, Marilla. Besides, Rachel Lynde says, she says I have enough education as a woman would be comfortable with.
Anne Shirley.
Anne Shirley, I wish to speak with you, Anne Shirley. Miss Stacy told me what you tried to do for me, Anne. It was awful good of you.
It wasn't particularly good of me at all, Gilbert. I couldn't go to Queens, so I saw no reason why somebody, well, anybody else shouldn't go.
You are going to keep up your studies, aren't you?
I hope to.
So am I. Well,